Is it seeing you?
Yes.
People in the back? Yeah. Okay. Have you ever had that one person that was your rock, that you could just depend on for any and everything? Well, my mom is and always has been that person for me. The older I get, the more I realize this to be true. My mom has always been there for me, is an amazing person, and despite battling some really tough adversity, my mom is the best mom around. First, I'd like to look at the many ways my mom has always been there for me. See, my mom worked a full-time job, over 50 hours a week, but still managed to always be there for each of her children. She would come home from work exhausted, but she would make dinner, clean up after us, and then make sure each of her children were taken care of before she went to sleep. My mom raised 4 children, including myself, and we were all very active in school and sports. But still, she managed to know everything about my life, from what boys I was dating this week to which homework I had that night. One example I can remember is when I was going through a really tough time in my life. I had just blew out my knee and lost my chance at a basketball scholarship to play in college. There was nothing anyone could do to make me feel better. But my mom bought me this ring that says nothing is impossible. I've worn it ever since, and still to this day, when times get tough, I look at it and smile because I know that my mom will always be there for me. My mom always knows what to say and how to say it, and that's just because she's a great all-around person. Every year during Christmas, my mom sponsors a toy drive for less fortunate children. She buys gifts for the kids, then separates the presents so that each child gets the right gift. Then she hand-delivers the toys herself. Keep in mind she has 4 children and a husband to buy presents for during the hectic holiday season. Ever since I can remember, my mom loved working with children. She coached in the recreational basketball leagues, and the kids all wanted to be on her team. She also coached in travel basketball teams, and that's for my older brother, my older sister, and myself. In her spare time, she would also tutor children and help them with their schoolwork. She would sit with them until they got it, no matter how long it took. Keep in mind, she has 4 kids and a husband to take care of. My mom's love of volunteering and being a full-time mom was rattled a little bit when she was diagnosed with breast cancer. One of the most troubling times in my family's life was when my mom was diagnosed with this disease. I watched my strong, beautiful mother grow tired and weak. There was only one time I remember my mother ever crying, and it was during the early stages of chemotherapy. I was 13 years old. My mom's hair had just fallen out, so she wore a scarf to cover her bald head. We were sitting on the couch one day when I just remember staring at her. She asked me what was the problem. I told her I thought she looked really beautiful. She looked at me in a serious way. She told me she felt disgusting, and then she began crying. Even through facing this big hurdle, it never stopped her. Finally, after everything my mom has endured, she's still the super mom that I'll always remember her as. I know I have told you a lot of information about my mother today, but if you remember nothing else, I hope you remember these things. My mother has always been there for me. She's an amazing person, and no matter what adversity you throw at her, she will always come out on top. I hope that everyone has this kind of relationship with a parent or relative. If you don't, you should find one, because I can't even begin to imagine what my life would be like without my rock, my superhero, my mom.